So before of starting this session, it's very important for you all to know who am I. So I would like to introduce myself first. So myself Ziaur Rahman Ansari. I have done MTech in structural engineering and I have work experience of almost all the sectors. I have worked in government sectors, I have worked in private sector, I also have worked in academics, and since from last few years I am working as an independent structural consultant and software trainer, and with this my entire experience I have formed this training format, and this will definitely help you a lot to enhance your existing knowledge in respect of your structural design. All the newly joined members hereby requested that kindly write your name and contact number in the chat box, and it's requested to all of you kindly mute your mic and don't ask any question in between of my discussion. At the end of the session I will take the time for the doubt clarification and to discuss all the things that is in your mind. So please don't interrupt the ongoing discussion. So if you want to become a structural engineer, so there are some important things you need to know to become a good structural engineer and to design any kind of structure. So you should have a knowledge of all these four parameters, you should have a detailed knowledge and detailed command over all these four pillars. So if you are pursuing your bachelor's, if you are pursuing your master's, definitely after completion of your bachelor's and your master's, you need to look for the job. You need to go in any consultancy in design MNCs and design firms. And also if you don't want to go for any job, if you want to start your own business as a structural engineer, so you should have the knowledge of all these 4 points. So let's talk about if you are going to look for the job in any design firm. So when you go, they will ask first question that how many softwares you know. Am I right or wrong? Hello? Yeah, they will first ask the question that how many softwares you know or how many softwares you have a command. So that's the current scenario. They will not first ask about your knowledge, about your experience. Okay, they will ask first question how many softwares you know or how many softwares you have a command. So your first responsibility is to look in market which software is in trend. So if you look the market, so in market the 2 main softwares are there. One is ETABS software, one is StatPro software, and some other softwares are there, but the demanding softwares are the ETABS softwares and the StatPro software. Here we are not going to discuss what is the difference and where it is accepted and all. That is another point of discussion. So the question is that you have to first take the command over the software, and the next question they will ask about your basic knowledge, your structural concepts that you will get from your academics. What should be the bending moment diagram of the beam, how for the simply supported beam, for the fixed beam, for the continuous beam, how to design the column, how to design the shear wall, how to design the foundation, how to design the slabs, what is short column, what is long column, how will be the shear force diagram for the different loading condition over the beams, what is the material properties, which material you have to use for the column, which material you have to use for the beams, which material you have to use for the slabs. Can you use for the same project different materials for different structural elements? What is the minimum grade of concrete that you can use? So that all comes under the basic concepts. How the structure will behave under the loading, what is the flexural behavior of the structure under different loading condition. So this basic knowledge you will get from your academics, and if you forget that, you need to revise that all concepts. So the first question they will ask definitely about the softwares, that is the current scenario, and then will ask about the basic your knowledge. Once you get the command over these 2 parameters, they will ask about how many codes you know. See, if you are traveling over the road, so there are some guidelines. You have to follow that guidelines. If you are not following that guidelines, definitely that will be harmful for your life as well as for the others' life. Similar work will be performed by the similar importance is there as of your design codes. If you are not following the design code for the designing of the structure, definitely you will end up with the uneconomical design, unstable design. There will be the possibility of the failure of your structure. So there are different design codes. You should know what are the different design codes, Indian design codes that you have to follow for the design of structure. So you should have a detailed knowledge of IS 456-2000, the basic code for the design of RCC structure, IS 800-2007 for the design of the steel structure, IS 875 part 1, part 2, part 3. You should know you should have an idea what for IS 875 part 1 we are using, what for IS 875 part 2 we are using, what for IS 875 part 3 we are using. So also you should have an idea what for IS 1893-2016, 13920 for the ductile detailing, IS 16700. This is for what? This is for the designing of high-rise structure whose height is more than 50 meter. What is the role of SP34? What for purpose we are using 1904? So these all codes knowledge you should have. And if you have thorough knowledge about these design codes, you will definitely design your structure as economical as well as stable. So you should have a detailed knowledge about all these things. Unless and until you don't have this knowledge, you will not able to design effective, stable and economical design. Okay, so this is actually the requirement. Now come back. What is the fourth requirement? Okay, I have a good experience, a good command over the software. I have a good command over this. I have a good knowledge of the basic concepts. I also have a knowledge of the design codes, its important clauses. Now the fourth is the most important, is the experience. Experience means what? How many real life project you have dealt? How many real life project you have designed? Every new project, every individual project, every separate project will have its unique difficulty, and dealing with that unique difficulty is nothing but the experience. So these all four pillars, these four points are very important to keep in mind to get over command over all these points to become a good structural engineer, to design any kind of structure. And by keeping in mind all these requirements and industrial requirements, we have created this training course. ETABS software is a well-known software in the market. This software is used for the design of RCC structure, steel structure, medium to high-rise structure. And then what is the requirement of RCDC software we'll discuss later. And some of the structural elements, the design consultancies and design firms are designing by the Excel sheets. So that's also included in this course. And all the things here we are going to deal in the light of the requirement of the IS codes. So your software will be covered, your basic knowledge, everything from scratch, from basics I'll try to explain. So that basic structural concept will be cleared. If you forget that doesn't matter, don't worry. We are trying to cover everything from the basic. The second part will be covered. Now the third is what? Design code. As I told you, we are trying to design, and we are trying to do everything in the light of the design codal requirement. And the last one is the experience. So here every project that we are going to take for the designing of the structure in the training, that will be real life project. G+3, G+5 building will be there. For that, from architectural drawing to till the releasing drawing for the site execution, everything we are trying to cover. That we will see later. Then we will take high-rise structure also. There we will discuss all the advanced things that also we are discussing right now after some time. So this about all this training. what actually you are going to get from this training. Is that clear? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Excuse me, sir. Some
Please
of
don't
the
ask any
students are
question.
waiting.
Please don't ask any question right now. At the end, I will take I'll try to take every question. Okay? Don't ask any
Okay,
question.
sorry, sir. Actually, some of the students are waiting for join.
Okay, wait. So these all important parameters you have to keep in mind to become a good structural engineer. Now the next point comes into the picture that for completion of any project as a structural engineer and as a beginner, it is important to follow correct design step. It is important to follow correct design step. So as you know, the flow of completion of any project, the owner will come to the architect, then architect will plan the land and will prepare the architectural plan, and that architectural plan will come to the structural engineer, and then structural engineer works will start. Then the first responsibility of the structural engineer is to read the architectural drawing carefully. So many types of architectural drawing will be there. Okay, like this kind of architectural drawing you will get from the architect. So your first responsibility is to understand the architectural drawing. Unless and until you are not getting the architectural drawing, you will be not able to proceed for the next step. You will not able to position your column, you will not able to orient your column, you will not able to prepare your beam layout, you will not able to prepare your center line plan, you will not able to go for any next step. Okay, so you have to understand the architectural drawing, and by understanding of the architectural drawing you will be able to prepare the all the things that is required for the next step. Is that clear? Once you understood all the architectural drawing, then you have to proceed for the next step. What is the next step? You have to decide the preliminary sizes of the different structural elements. After understanding of the architectural drawing, your next step is what? You have to position the column, you have to decide the orientation of the column, and you have to decide the preliminary sizes of different structural elements. These all decisions you have to make for the preparation of the beam layout. In this training that we will cover all these points. What should be the size of the column? That's very important. What should be the orientation of the column? What should be the position of the column? Because the stability of your structure are mainly depends on the positioning of the column. And economy of the structure is also depends on the positioning of the column, orientation of the column also. That's very important point. Most of the designers, they don't know, and in their training they are not taking this point, how the position orientation of the column will influence the economy of your design. And your stability is also depends on the position orientation of the column. See, if one beam is going to fail, it is not meaning that your entire structure is going to fail. But if one column is going to fail, there is a possibility that your entire structure is going to fail. Am I right or wrong? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So that's why your stability of your structure is entirely depends on your columns and shear wall. If the shear wall is there, then column and shear wall both are very important to maintain the stability of your structure. So that all point we will cover in this training. Then how to position your beams, how to position orientation of beams, sizes of the beams, everything we are trying to cover in this training. Some advanced Excel sheets are there that will help you to find out the preliminary sizes. This is actually the preliminary sizes. It is not final design size. Some of you may think that how we can decide the size before of design. So it is not actual size. It is the preliminary size. In ETABS software, before of modeling, you have to define some section. You have to define some important things to go for the next step. Although the sizes and reinforcement will be definitely depends on the design, but some preliminary sizes we have to decide, so that different consultants for practicing with this different options. So one option is that we are finding the preliminary sizes using the Excel sheets. So by some changes we will get final what the size is required for the column. Width will be 230 and how much depth is required. So that we can decide by these preliminary sizes by the Excel sheets. So going through all these points, sizes, orientation, position and all, we have to prepare the beam layout like this. We have to prepare the final beam layout like this. See, this is the beam layout. What does mean the beam layout? If you don't have a knowledge, we will discuss that point also. What will be present in your beam layout? The beam number, beam position, column number, slab positioning and slab marking, everything will be present in your beam layout. And this beam layout we have to send on site for the site execution, for the reference of positioning of the column, for the reference of positioning of your beam. So that is nothing but your beam layout. So this beam layout should be very correct as per your architectural drawing. So this is architectural drawing, and over that architectural drawing you have to prepare this beam layout, and you have to prepare this beam layout for all the floors. And once you prepare this beam layout, then finally you have to prepare the center line plan. Then very important point, how to prepare this center line plan. So that we will also discuss in this training, how to prepare this center line plan. And after getting this center line plan, now our work will be completed with the CAD. Till the preparation of the center line plan, our work will be with the CAD file. We have to work over the architecture plan. Now after getting this center line plan, then we have to move in the ETABS software. So just come back to the ETABS software. Okay, so this is actually the so the first thing is what? You have to prepare the grid lines in the ETABS software. Okay, the first thing is what? You have to prepare these grid lines. Without of having these grid lines, it is very difficult to prepare, difficult to go for the modeling of the different structural elements and to create your entire model. So we should have some reference line, that is nothing but the grid lines. So there are different methods of preparing these grid lines in the ETABS software, like OPM method is there, offset point method is there, import export method is there. If the architecture plan and the center line plan is very complicated, so you can directly export that file from CAD and can directly import in the ETABS software. If the architecture plan is very complicated like this. So in this situation, one option is there. Now if the simple drawing is there, simple architecture plan is there, so you can directly create by default by default option of the ETABS software the grid lines in the ETABS itself. So these three options are there to prepare these grid lines. Once you complete these grid lines, the next responsibility is to model the column. Then how to model column? What are the different commands are there? What advanced commands is there to model the column? So you have to finally prepare model the columns like this. So modeling of the column, you have to done many things are there to discuss for the modeling of the column. So that we will discuss in detail in our training. Then next point is what? You have to model the beams. You have to model the beams from base to top. Then how to model the beams, how to reposition the beams, how to model curved beams, how to model inclined beams, everything we will discuss. Then you have to model the slabs also, how to model the slabs of different shapes and different different configuration and different shapes. That also we are trying to cover in this training. So you will get a command or of modeling any kind of structure. See, analysis will be same, design will be same, scheduling will be same, and detailing will be same for every project. But what different is there? So different is actually the architectural plan, and accordingly you have to model your structure. Accordingly you have to create your model in the software. So everything will be same, only the different thing is what? Actually the modeling. That's why we are focusing mainly for the modeling in the first section of our training. How to model different kinds of the column, different kinds of the beam, different kinds of the slabs, like all these things we are trying to cover in our first section. Now in the second section, what for next step, what we have to do for preparing the model? So you should have a knowledge about different commands of the ETABS software. Okay, so what next step is there? The next step is what? Defining of different important things in the software. What should be the section sizes, what materials you are going to use, like M20 grade, FE415, FE500 grade, section properties, and all you have to define in the ETABS software. See, in ETABS software, 3 things are there. How many things are there? Hello?
3.
3 things are there. Actually, the step is there. Before of step something, after of step something. What it means that to perform any step, before of step setting is there, and after of step check is there. Before of step setting is there, and after of step there is a check is there. What it means that before of modeling you have to define some important things, like what? You have to define the material properties, you have to define the section properties, you have to define many things, and then you have to proceed for the modeling, and then you can finally prepare your model. You can create your model in the software like this. So once the model gets ready, so it is not meaning that your model is correct. It is not meaning that your model is correct. So what you need to do, you have to check your model whether is there any modeling error or warning is there or not. So it's your responsibility, because if your model will be wrong, then definitely your analysis will be wrong. If your analysis will be wrong, then definitely your design will be wrong, and everything for the next step will be wrong. So your responsibility is to check your model whether it is right or wrong. So some checks are there. That check you have to perform after the modeling. And if you are performing the modeling check, so this kind of warning you will get. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So after performing the analysis modeling check, this kind of warning errors you will get. Then that's very important thing and challenging job to overcome these errors and warnings. Without of resolving all these warnings and errors, you can't proceed for the next step. As I told, if model is wrong, next all the steps results will be wrong definitely. So you have to correct your model first. So you have to reduce all these warning results. And finally you have to get the model has been checked and there should not be any warning errors, modeling errors. And this kind of model you will get finally after the modeling check. So this till that you have to work in the ETABS software. Now the next step, you have to proceed for the analysis. As I told you, before of any step you have to do something, and after of step you have to check the step whether it is executed right or wrong. So before of analysis you have to define the different load combination. That's a very important point. If you are going to design building only for the gravitational load, so you have to, there will be only 2 load combination. Service load combination will be there and factor load combination will be there. Why we are taking service load combination, why we are taking the factor load combination, everything I will try to cover in detail. Then in next step, if you are designing high-rise structure and it is subjected to many lateral loads, like earthquake load is there, wind load is there, and different methods of analysis are there. So in that situation, more than 100 load combination will be there. So how that load combination will form, how to understand that load combination, where it is given, in which code is given, how to put in the ETABS software, how to form that load combination, how to form load envelope. So many things are there to discuss. So that we will discuss in detail in complete training. That we have to define. Then different methods of analysis we have to define before of the analysis, and after completion of all these things you can proceed for the analysis. And after the analysis you will get the deformed shape of your structure. Analysis results you will get. So that the simple structure is there. So how to read the analysis results? Shear force diagram you will get, bending moment diagram you will get, member forces you will get, base reactions you will get, how to check all these things. And then most important thing is to know whether the analysis is right or wrong. That's also, we can't blindly trust on the software. Software is just a tool to make your work easy, to complete your work within a short period of time. Am I right or wrong? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you are giving the input wrong, definitely you will get the output wrong. So okay, no doubt we are human beings, we do the mistake. Everyone can do the mistake, but if you did the mistake at the time of modeling and after the analysis, if you are getting the results as per not your expectation, so you will it should be click in your mind that I have done mistake here. This shear force diagram should not be like this. This is the bending moment diagram. So you all know that. See, suppose after the analysis somewhere I am getting the bending moment diagram like this. Like this, suppose we are getting the bending moment diagram. So can anyone tell me this bending moment diagram is for what? Either it is for fixed beam or simply supported beam. Can anyone tell me?
Fixed beam, sir. Fixed beam.
Okay, but after the analysis, my expectation is that here the bending moment diagram should be like this. That means that I want the bending moment diagram, or I want the beam to be there as a simply supported. But after the analysis, I am getting the result like this. So it should be click in my mind that I did the mistake somewhere. Hello, am I right or wrong?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir. Yes.
Okay, so that's why you should have a basic knowledge of structural behavior under the loading. Then only you can perform correctly with the software, and you can rectify the software and you can rectify yourself if you did the mistake. Software is correct, but it work all with the given input. If the given input is right, then a result will be right. If given input is wrong, definitely output will be wrong. So how to see the bending moment diagram, how to see the shear force diagram, what the axis consideration, M33 axis, M22 axis, where to see the shear force, where to see the bending moment diagram, how to see the reactions, how to see the deformation of the slab. Okay, then if you are talking about the slab, what is the difference between the shell element, what is the difference between the membrane? No one discussing about this difference. How the behavior of the how the behavior of the membrane element, how the behavior of the shell element, what is a thin shell, what is a thick shell. So that all things very important to know to work with the ETABS software. Is that clear to all of you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now after having this analysis result, next step is what? You have to check whether the analysis has been done correctly or not. It means that whether the load has been transferred correctly or not. So one step is there. How to do that I will try to cover in the complete training. Now after that you have to design your structure, and many things has to discuss before of designing of structure, but I am not going to discuss that. Just click over the design, so your design will begin and your design will be completed. So like this design result will be in front of you, and these all values that you are getting here, that is actually the requirement of the reinforcement. So how to read this design report and design results, that's very important. Very important. And after designing, a check is there, and check is what? All the members passing the design check or not. After design, what step is there? You have to check whether the design has been whether the members passing the design check or not. If some member is failing in the design, you have to find what is the reason. Suppose one column is failing here, so one column is not passing the design check. So what is actually the reason? Suppose just for example, this column, the fail column will be present with the red color. Suppose just for example, this column is failing the design, so you have to find. It is not meaning that going to increase the section size. That's only not the reason. Many of the training center will tell you just go to increase the section size and this column will pass. Am I right or wrong? Hello.
Yes, sir. Normally it is said.
Yes, but that's not a solution. Being a structural engineer, we should have a knowledge why this column is failing. That is only not only this reason section size is less as per requirement. No doubt is the one reason, but what is the theory behind this? What is the concept behind this? If the percentage of reinforcement you are getting more, so how to optimize the design? That's actually the responsibility of the structural engineer. Getting the section pass, that is not the job of a structural engineer. A structural engineer job is to optimize your design. With a minimum cost, you have to prepare your design. You have to complete your design with minimum steel requirement. That is actually we are calling it as a optimization of the design. No doubt IS code says that maximum percentage of limit in column for the reinforcement is 4% or 6%. There is a detailed discussion between 4 and 6. I am not going to discuss that. Okay, so suppose just for example 4% is restriction. So the question is being while practicing, every consultant is not going to provide the 4%. We are restricting the percentage. Practically I am telling you, we are restricting the percentage in between 1 and 1/2 or 1 and 1.5%. So why we are restricting the percentage and all? There is a detailed discussion of detailing and scheduling. So that I will try to cover in detail in the project, in the training. So that all things we are trying to cover with the in this training. So many things we have to discuss before of the design, during the design, and after the design. So after having the design result, then we have to proceed for the scheduling and detailing. So being a structural engineer, being an engineer, we know that this section is section size passing the design check. These sections, these reinforcement is enough for that all. So one question to all of you: can I send this model file on site directly for the site execution? Can I send this model file?
No, sir. No, sir.
No.
No.
So we have to prepare the schedule and detail. Can anyone tell me in short what is the definition of scheduling? Can anyone tell me what is the definition, why we are preparing the schedule, and what is the meaning of the schedule?
The quality of steel.
For site execution.
My previous batch students don't answer. I am asking the newcomers.
Construction stage.
No, sorry. Okay, it's
Quality of steel. Quality of steel, sir.
No. In
Schedule
short,
is
in
important.
general, I am asking what is the meaning of schedule? Simple. Yeah, Nidhi Mehta. Yes, Mehta.
Arranging, controlling, and optimizing work.
No. You are correct on your level. You are correct. But I'm expecting in general, in simple language.
To organize, sir. To organize.
Okay. So let's listen. Listen to me. Okay. What does mean by the schedule? Okay. So the meaning is what? The summary of the design. Schedule is nothing but the what? Summary of your design. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
That's a simple meaning. So this design we actually have, and we can't send this model on site for the site execution. First thing. The second thing, we can't also send the detailed design report on the site for the site execution. If you are going to solve one beam, if you are actually going to design one beam manually, so at least 3 to 4 pages, 5 pages is required to complete the design. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
For one
Yes.
beam. So overall design will require too many pages, and there will be booklet will be there. So we can't send detailed design report on site for the site execution. So as a structural engineer, for the ease of work on the site, we have to send on site the summary of the design report, and that summary of the design is nothing but the scheduling. Is that clear to all of you?
Yes,
Hello.
Yes, sir.
And to execute effectively, we have to prepare the detail also that will help to on-site engineers and working laborers. Where to cut the bars, where to bend the bars, where to lap the bars. For that purpose, we have to prepare the detailing. So have you got the meaning of scheduling and detailing? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the next
Yes,
step. Yeah, very good. Now see. So this kind of schedule you have to prepare. So I will take in detail how to prepare this schedule. So we will take a structure, we will prepare the model, we will go to analysis, we will go to design, we will go to prepare the schedule manually. Many softwares are there like RCDC. We will discuss, we have a discussion in detail later about the RCDC. But that RCDC work, first we are trying to do manually. Software you can learn, but how to do manually, that's actually very important. So first I will try to cover all the things manually. How to prepare the schedule of column in respect of the design result of the ETAP software. So this kind of schedule you have to prepare. At the base to ground level, how much reinforcement required, ground to first levels, first to second, like this, how many number of bars, and what the diameter of bar, and how much shear reinforcement is required. That all things I will try to cover in the part of the scheduling and detailing. So this is the schedule of your column. Then how to prepare the schedule of the beam in respect of design result of the ETAP software. Okay, and then how to position your reinforcement, where there will be the curtailment, where will be the lapping in respect of the SP34. What is the purpose of the SP34? What is the necessity of SP34? SP34 is very, very important, very useful for the structural engineer to learn the scheduling and detailing. Okay, so that we also are trying to cover in this training. Then we have to prepare the schedule of the slab. Everything we are trying to cover in this training. Now finally, after having this, then we will go to prepare the reports. See, these kind of reports we have to send on site for the site execution. The column schedule will be there, column typical detail will be there, and all the details will be there. And then finally this sheet we have to send on site, and with the help of this sheet, design sheets, site construction is going on. This kind of schedule you have schedule reports you have to send on site, design sheets. Is that clear to all of you?
Fine, sir. Very fine, sir.
Okay, so this kind of how to design the slabs, how to design the staircase, so everything we can't design in the ETABS software. Everything we can't design in the ETABS software. So the consultants will take the help of Excel sheets for the scheduling purpose, also for the designing purpose also. It is the way of working of different person. But some similarities are there. Most of the consultants, they are designing the structure, beams and columns and some important structural elements through the ETABS software, and some important structural elements like slabs, staircase and all using the advanced Excel sheets. So in this training we are also going to follow that procedure. So we also have some important Excel sheets for the designing of these structural elements like slabs, and see, designing of one-way slab is there. Okay, like this. So this slab design sheet will give you detailed report of the design. You just have to put some basic information from the architecture plan, and then you will get finally design report. So this is for what? This is for designing of one-way slab. There is another sheet for the design of the two-way slab. So that is also present as very effective and very useful sheet is there for the designing of two-way slab. So you will give all the details for the designing of the two-way slab. Then also we have a design sheet for the design of staircase. Advanced Excel sheet for the design of a staircase, which will give you schedule and detail of the design, everything. So finally you will get the schedule like this. Finally you will get the detail like this. So these advanced Excel sheets for some important structural elements we are going to use in this training. Foundation sheet is there like this. So these sheets we will use for the designing of the foundation, so that you will finally get you will get the what width of the foundation is required, what length of foundation is required, what depth of foundation is required, how much reinforcement along the width, along the depth, everything we will get from as a design output from this sheet. And these all sheets are practical sheets. You can use these all sheets for your practical purpose as a working as a structural engineer. So definitely after completion of this medium rise structure, you will be able to design any medium rise structure on your own. This much confidence you will get after the completion of this training. After having the discussion of all about this for the medium rise structure, we will move in this training for the high rise structure. There we have to discuss many important things. Okay, before of going to this high rise, it's visible to all of you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So see, as you know, one work is there, that is scheduling and detailing. So that scheduling and detailing we can do manually. But the work that you are going to do manually, suppose it is the time required to complete the thing, scheduling and detailing for any project, just for example, as a beginner or at the intermediate experience, if you require the time, suppose one day for the preparing the schedule and detail, so that work you can complete with the help of the RCDC software within a 10 to 15 minutes. Hello?
Yes, sir.
In what minutes you will complete the work? Sir. Hello, can you tell me?
15 minutes, sir. 15 minutes.
The one day work you can complete within 10 to 15 minutes using this RCDC software, and that is the greatness of this software. So what actually you need to do? So this software, RCDC software, is not the analysis software. It is the design, scheduling and detailing software. This software actually required the analysis report. If you give the analysis report to this software, this will give you design results, this will give you design output, and this will give you schedule and detail everything. Okay, so analysis report from the ETABS software we will take from the ETABS, and then we will import in the ETABS software, in RCDC software, and then we can proceed. So this is the import analysis report of the beam from ETABS to RCDC. This is the design report. How much reinforcement required at the bottom left, at the mid, right, top, bottom, shear reinforcement, what the section size is required, how much material is required, what material is required, with the basic settings. Some basic settings, some understanding is important. I will discuss each and everything. So we will definitely learn how to use this software. And finally you will get the design report like this. And the many very important feature is there. This will give you detailings also. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This
Yes.
kind of detailing.
Yes, sir.
Can you imagine if you are going to prepare this kind of detailing manually, how much time will be required? Can you imagine? Hello.
Sir, 1 day, 2 days.
Exactly.
Very
And
tedious.
that work you will get prepared work you will get in a single click. In a single click will be some basic settings. Okay, so that's actually the greatness of this software I am telling you. So the beam result you will get. Then same thing will for the columns. You have to do some basic settings. Being imported ETABS analysis result to the RCTC software, you have to perform some basic settings, and then you will get the design result like this. How much percentage of reinforcement is required, how much bar is required, how much shear reinforcement is required, and finally you will get the design report and detailing like this over the height of your structure. That's also we are going to discuss in this training. Same thing you can do for the slabs also. So this kind of slab is there. So slab we have a slab analysis report we have to import here, and then finally we have to design the slab. So we using this RCTC software, in a single click you can design number of slabs. Some basic things you have to do in the settings, and some basic parameters you have to change according to your requirement, and finally your design result will be available like this. How much reinforcement required at the bottom, top, and shear and all, everything will be available here. And finally you will get the design detail like this. And then finally you can design your foundation also, and the foundation design report you will get like this. All the things you can complete using this ETABS RCTC software. So that's actually the greatness and importance of this RCTC software, and it is being used in most of the consultancies, and in most of the independent consultants, they are also using this RCTC software to work in a less time period. Is that clear to all of you? After having all this discussion, then we'll move for the advanced topic. We will move for the some high-rise structure, how to model that high-rise structures. Okay, some important things we will discuss in this high-rise structure, this kind of complicated structure, how to model that. All things we will cover in this training. What does mean by the property modifier? Okay, so all some important what should be the what does mean by the in-plan geometry of the structure, what does mean by the orthogonal building, what does mean by the non-orthogonal building, what does mean by the stiffness, strength, ductility, strength for the high-rise structure which is subjected to lateral load. Especially in high-rise structure we have to deal with the lateral loads. In medium rise structure there is no problem with the lateral load, but if your height of structure is going to increase, there the influence of the wind load, the influence of the earthquake load is going to increase. At that time you have to discuss in-plan geometry, stiffness, strength, ductility. So detailed discussion will be there. Then earthquake loading and methods of analysis for the high-rise structure. So suppose the earthquake loading is there, so what are the different methods are there? Static, dynamic, in static, linear, non-linear, and when to perform static, when to perform dynamic, which building is medium rise, which building is high rise, which building is low rise. So many controversies are there, that all controversies we are trying to resolve in this training. When to perform the linear analysis, when to perform the non-linear analysis, when to perform the static, when to perform the dynamic. in respect of the earthquake loading. All the things I am trying to cover in this training. Then what are the different ways of assigning the loading in the ETABS software as a wind load? And what are the different methods of analysis for the high-rise structure under the wind loading? What does mean by the Moodle analysis? How to check your building is torsionally regular or irregular? That's very important discussion. So that all things we are trying to cover in respect of the advanced design codes are like IS 1893 2016, IS 13920 2016 for the detailing purpose, IS 16700 for the high-rise structure analysis and design, and to check the stability. Okay, suppose okay, so this is actually the checking for the stability of your structure and checking of whether your building is torsionally regular or irregular. So this is a one check. There's a many things we have to check here. Not the time to discuss everything, but here I'm trying to show you. See, this is the first mode. This is the result of Moodle analysis. So this is the first mode, this is the second mode, and this is the third mode. So as per the IS 1893 2016, it is the recommendation that your first mode and your second mode should be free from torsion. There should be only translational movement. What does mean by the torsion? What does mean by the translational movement? I will try to cover in the complete training. Okay, so this is what if you see, can you tell me in the first mode and in the second mode what is there? Is there any torsion?
No, sir, no torsion in mode 1
in your
and
first mode, in your second mode, there is no torsion. So that is actually recommended by the code. So that you have to satisfy in your modeling, in your analysis, okay, to check for the stability of your structure. And your third mode, if it is having the torsion, there is no problem, that is acceptable. But your first mode and second mode should be free from torsion. So how to avoid this torsion and on what factor this torsion will be there? So that all thing is very, very interesting point. So here the time is not allowing me to discuss each and everything. Okay, so very important discussion is there, so that you will get the result of your structure as per the requirement. Your first mode and second mode being torsion free, and your third mode is having the torsion, that is acceptable. Okay, so these all things we are trying to cover in the advanced topic for the high-rise structure. Then why it is needed to perform the P delta analysis, what does mean by the P delta analysis, how to perform the P delta analysis, everything I will try to cover. And some discussion we had about the load combination. Then what does mean by the live load reduction factor, why it is needed to perform the live load reduction factor. So these all things we are trying to cover in high-rise structure. So that will be interesting experience for you. And finally, so this is all about this training. This is all about this training, and what you will get from these overall benefits you will get from this training. So there will be live interaction. Live interaction will be there, not like other centers and what others are doing. They will send you only the recorded session and you have to practice over that. You have to learn with that recorded session. So as per my view, that's not the way of learning. There should be some expert with you to resolve your queries. So live interaction will be there in every day for 1.5 to 2 hours. And that scenario will be like a classroom scenario. No doubt it is online, but it is just like a classroom scenario. That the way I am taking this demo session, the same way I am taking the live session, actual training sessions. Many times I am coming back to you and asking the question and answering will be there. You can resolve your doubts. Okay, so see, the first thing will be there. Second, recorded videos you will get at the end of every session. Suppose this session, we have the first session today, so you will get the recorded session of today's session tomorrow, next day of the session, and every session will come to you. And the next, all the materials, all the Excel sheets that I have shown here, all the CAD files that I'm using during the training, and all the models and everything that I'm using in this training will be shared with you. So don't bother about the material, about the recorded session. And finally, if you are enrolling in the course and you are paying the full fee, so you will get the ISO certification. ISO certificate will be there. So if you are pursuing your bachelor's, your master's, so this certificate is very important for you to show anywhere and to proceed for the next step. So this is all about this training. This kind of certificate you will get. Is that okay? Hello. So have you enjoyed this demo session?
Yes, sir.
So this is
Yes,
all
yes,
about
sir.
this training.
Fine, sir. Fine, fine.
Okay, so registration has been started. So if you want to enroll in this training, so you can pay the fee and you can complete your registration and your book. You can book your seats. Okay.
Sir, what is the duration of the course?
Duration is 30 to 45 days.
Sir, every day classes will be held.
Yeah, a timetable will be shared. A detailed timetable will be there. When the holiday will be there and when the session will be there, everything will be sent to you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Every day
So
session. Sorry.
total course fees, sir. Total course fees.
Total course fee is 4,500.
Okay, okay. What is RCDC separate software, sir?
Sorry.
RCDC is a separate software.
RCDC. Sorry.
This is a separate software.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, nice.
Sir, one more doubt, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
yes.
do you conduct training like this for design of steel structures also? I mean, after completing RCC.
Yes. That is in our plan. Definitely.
Sir, how to get this software?
We will share everything. How to get this software, how to install this software, everything support we will provide.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome to all. So this is my number 885789 as written here. So you can contact me and
Sir, please.
8857891345. This is my number. Shall we conclude the session now?
Okay, sir. Okay, nice, sir. Nice, sir.
Good.
Very interesting. Very interesting and excellent demo, sir.
Thank you very much.
Your presentation skills are commendable, sir.
Thank you very much. There is a more discussion.
Well,
And many things are there in the real in the complete training.
Actually, your demo class is in depth of your free from mind and excellent coaching, sir.
Thank you very much. Srinivas sir is our last batch students. Srinivas sir, would you like to say something about this training?
सर अच्छा है सर, आप बहुत अच्छा बोल रहे हैं, सब लोग ज्वाइन करना अच्छा है सर।
आपने कैसा फील किया ये ट्रेनिंग के दौरान सारी चीजें?
अच्छा बहुत अच्छा फील किया सर, सब लोग ज्वाइन करने से अच्छा होगा सर सभी को।
Okay, Rohit, would you like to say something about this training?
Yes, sir. Very nice and interesting. Learn so many things and clear the concept.
So these are our previous batch students.
So your contact only for ETABS and RCDC and Excel only. Otherwise, any software trainings programs, sir? Contact.
Sorry.
You're only for ETABS software training only. Otherwise, any software training program is contact.
No. This only.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Shall we conclude the session now?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Those
Thank
who
you, sir.
want
Thank
to,
you.
Yeah, very good. Welcome to all. Those who want to enroll, you can contact me now and you can book your seat. Registration has been started. Do it fast.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.